In Lee County, when you drop items in your recycle bin, after a short trip in a recycling truck, it ends up here at Lee County's Resource Recovery Facility. Plastics, aluminum, paper, and glass all sorted in a process to make what's old new again.
And the glass actually goes through the system, hits a glass breaker, and it comes out, and it's what you're seeing right here. It's a mixed glass product.
Emery Smith is Lee County's solid waste coordinator. He says glass is the only recyclable that's a bit of a problem. Currently, the small shards are gathered and shipped by the ton to the Lee Hendry Waste Facility and stored.
We're stockpiling the glass out at the Lee County Lee Hendry landfill. We've got a big mountain of it out there. We've been stockpiling it for the last year, hoping to come up with a market for this material.
At the moment, Lee County doesn't have an outlet to recycle all of the glass that comes in, but they have found a way to reuse it.
Yeah, you can actually mix a percentage of glass in with the asphalt to make a product, but we used a little over 200 tons in our project out back.
While recycling the glass isn't an option today, Smith says the future may hold a green solution.
Don't stop putting glass in your recycle bin.
4 box seats, 108.
It's a moment many baseball fans in Southwest Florida have waited days for, the chance to buy tickets to see the Twins or Red Sox play in the spring.
Yeah, baby! Here we go!
Mark Griffiths is a diehard Sox fan. He got in line Tuesday, camping out at City of Palms Park for 3.5 days to be the first person to buy tickets.
I love the Red Sox and grew up watching them when I was a kid, lived in New England, and big Jim Rice fan, and ever since then, Red Sox, Red Sox, Red Sox.
Griffiths says the long wait was well worth it because he gets to take his favorite people to the games with him.
My girlfriend taking my nieces and nephews, so that's real important to me.
Lines at both Red Sox Nation and Hammett Stadium where the Twins play wrapped around the buildings. Pam Sword bought tickets for Minnesota Day.
I have family coming down and we want to do the tailgating like we used to do in Minnesota.
Whether you cheer for the Twins or you're a Red Sox fan, there's one thing these sports enthusiasts all have in common. They can't wait for the players to hit the field.
So I got to watch my Twins.
With the Sox being so close, it's like impossible not to be a Red Sox fan.
Derek Piotr says the best part about getting in line early is getting great seats and getting to spend time with other baseball fans. In Fort Myers, Maite De La Rosa, Wink News Now.
This job isn't meant for everybody, and this really separates them, see if they can actually do it.
Being a firefighter is a tough job, but becoming one is even harder.
Today is pass or fail.
Early Thursday morning, more than a dozen aspiring men and women take the physical agility test. This is a crucial part of being a firefighter.
It's not really what the Hollywood shows, that there is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears out here. Got my fingers crossed, hoping.
Aspiring firefighter like Mario Artez have less than 7 minutes to run up 5 flights of stairs while carrying a hose. Once at top, they have to lift another fire hose, then run back down the stairs. Move this metal 5 feet with the sledgehammer, drag a fire hose 100 feet. Finally, they drag this 175-pound mannequin 30 feet. Mario did it in less than 4 minutes.
It's not easy.
I found that out the hard way.
Oh my God.
I suited up with a 50-pound vest and did the course, running up the stairs, lifting the hose, banging the sledgehammer. Still banging the sledgehammer. I finish and move on to carrying the hose. Perhaps the hardest part is dragging the 175-pound mannequin. I lose my footing, but eventually finish. My time?
9:47.
Not enough to be a firefighter, but enough to make me feel like I accomplished something few can do. And I feel like a new man. What? Do I look different? In Lee County, Nick Spinetta, Wink News, Now.
Well, it's not your traditional neighborhood watch program. A group of Punta Gorda Isles volunteers patrol the city's 50-plus miles of canals at night, and they're making sure the city stays safe. Rachel Raffanelli joins us from Punta Gorda. So, Rachel, what is this program all about?
Well, Stacy, when this program started 2 years ago, they had just about a dozen volunteers. Today, they now have about 75. Now, this team acts as surveillance for the city, but it doesn't cost taxpayers a dime. Bill Gunther started the Neighborhood Marine Watch program 2 years ago. He's one of many dedicated volunteers, giving up personal time in the middle of the night to patrol the canals.
There's 50 miles of canals here with 9 channels going in. We pretty much watch what's going in and what's coming out.
With limited resources and limited budgets with government agencies, it's a
assistance for us.
For the Punta Gorda Police Department, the Marine Watch offers an extra set of eyes and ears to the community without cost to the taxpayers.
They simply do what they have to do on their own time with their own materials, their own gas in their boats, and volunteer their time to come out and assist.
So this isn't costing the community any money?
It does not cost the community or the police department a dime.
Now, volunteers are simply acting as surveillance. They are not allowed to ticket or confront an individual if they see one that looks suspicious. However, if they do see something that looks suspicious, they will report it to the police.
Roberta Stevens of Cape Coral would like to see Florida become an open carry state.
I think it's better when it's open because then you know, it's better than concealed. I live alone and I don't have any pets.
Stevens and her friend John Gerba both want Senate Bill 234 to pass in the spring for the same reason.
Protection, really.
But opponents of the open carry bill say it makes gun carriers an easy target.
If I'm a bad guy and I'm going to rob the 7-Eleven that you're standing in front of me of, you're probably the first person I'm going to assault because you pose the biggest threat to me, because you openly display a firearm.
Josh Hackman is the general manager of Fowler Firearms in Fort Myers. Hackman says he doesn't see anything positive with someone carrying a gun in the open.
It's unsafe to a point because a lot of people aren't going to practice the certain techniques or training for weapon retention. If you're going to carry a firearm in the open, you need to be able to keep someone from taking it from you.
The plan has Chris Donlin from Fort Myers on the fence. The gun owner says he sees positives.
You reach up at a grocery store to grab something, your shirt lifts up, and then your pistol's exposed. You don't have to worry about someone calling the cops on you.
But he also sees negatives in the bill.
You're wearing a sign that says, "Take me down first." So.
In Fort Myers, Maite De La Rosa, Wink News Now.
Professional beekeepers work quickly and carefully to undo the massive hive. They think the bees have been colonizing here for at least a year, judging by the 5 feet of honeycomb.
There's probably around 60 to 70,000 in a colony this size.
This is the biggest beehive I've ever seen. This is huge.
Bee Keith Council is a 5th-generation beekeeper. He can spawn out the queen in seconds, and that's the key to removing a hive. Then he cuts her wings so she can't fly, and all the other bees follow her into a box. They'll be transported safely to a colony unharmed.
When we pulled up, there were people actually walking from the bus stop right underneath the bees.
The city asked for the bee removal after learning about the safety concerns, and neighbors living right across the street say they feel better knowing that tens of thousands of bees are somewhere else.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm so happy that's going to be gone.
I personally had said that it wouldn't bother me if they postponed it for a year.
That's how Clerk Charlie Green feels about the project to gut the first floor of the east side of the Justice Center. Workers will open up this area, removing the already closed escalator. They'll put in more space for the clerk's staff, even though the clerk himself says
we don't need the space. It's going to be very nice to have most all of our employees in one location.
Project managers tell me this is only one part of a 10-year plan to bring the Justice Center up to date. It will employ local workers.
You know, this is the best time to stimulate the economy. I think the public, they need the work, you know.
Still, Clerk Green says he's quietly lobbied to spend the money on something else.
I was at the commission meeting when the issue was raised, and basically told them I was in no rush to do it right now. I think their decision was to go ahead and get it finished.
County construction managers point out Green's people will need the space eventually.
This will help actually his department.
It definitely frustrates me.
That's the reaction of one man who says it's hard to derail government spending.
Government tends to be like that. They get it in their head and there's just no changing their mind about many of these things.
The project means the Monroe Street entrance and exit will close in 10 days. Still, the nagging question remains, do they really have to do it now?
I would wait. I would use the funds or keep the funds as a contingent for something else that may happen.
It's an amazing blessing. It's far beyond even my words could say.
The holiday spirit was put on full display for the less fortunate in our community. The Nations Association hosted its annual Christmas Day meal at Chandler Hall Park in Fort Myers, complete with presents for children and clothes for the homeless.
Some people aren't as fortunate as others, so if you just simply swallow your pride and take advantage of that, I think it feels good.
A number of churches donated hundreds of toys, and Lee Memorial Health System provided the food. The Reverend Israel Suarez was joined by County Commissioner Ray Judah in helping to feed more than 600 families.
They know that he is the spirit of Christmas, that he promotes and provides for this community every day of the year.
Steve Adams admits he couldn't bear the thought of his daughter missing out on Christmas.
I'm not fortunate enough to make a good meal right now, so I'm swallowing my pride, humbling myself, and coming down here so we can have a good meal for today.
And while the need in East Lee County is great, it's those who are willing to help that makes a difference.
The spirit of people coming out and serve, that's what really concerns me. You know, seeing so many volunteers in Christmas Day, you know, they should be home with the family.
We're so very fortunate to have people like this in our community to do this for us. It shows their love and the love of God.
Reporting in East Lee County, Carlos Suarez, Wink News Now.